Are you listening? Damn.
The Bogibeel Bridge, the longest rail-cum-road bridge on Brahmaputra River near Arunachal Pradesh in East India, is all set to be inaugurated on December 25 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India, which will facilitate faster movement of troops to Arunachal Pradesh, the country's easternmost state that shares border with China, while the Chinese troops are increasing its camps and military equipments and military exercise near the border. The foundation stone of the bridge was laid in 1997 by then Prime Minister H.D. Deve Gowda. The construction, however, started only in 2002 when the late Prime Minister Atal Behari Vajpayee inaugurated the construction works of India. The bridge, situated 17 kilometers downstream of Deve Gowda and the Dhemaji, spans the Brahmaputra River and will connect Assam's Deve Gowda town with Dhemaji. The bridge is located just over 20 kilometers away from the Assam and Arunachal Pradesh border, and therefore is expected to act as an alternative to Koliyabamara Setu in Tezpur, in providing connectivity to around 5 million people residing in Upper Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. The chief engineer of the Northeastern Frontier Railway's Bogibeel project, Mahendra Singh, said 99% of the bridge's construction work has been completed. The rest of the work, which includes the final finish, would be done before December 20. The project director of Hindustan Construction Company Limited, or the HCC, the RBR Kishore, said that the bridge is designed in such a way that can withstand movement of the major battle tanks of armored forces. We have also used fully welded guarded technology and high-quality copper-bearing steels to increase the durability of the bridge. The Hindustan Construction Company was awarded the contract to construct a superstructure of Bogibeel rail-cum-road bridge in November 2011. The bridge will give easy and direct access to Upper Assam from the rest of the country through Brahmaputra's northern bank, in contrast to the current route through Guwahati in the southern bank, which is long. Due to its location, the bridge will be of strategic importance to India, as it will significantly enhance India's ability to transport troops and supplies to its border in Arunachal Pradesh near Chinese border. The Bogibeel Bridge falls in the seismic zone of 5. This zone has been the most vulnerable to earthquakes and with magnitude in excess of 7 on Richter scales. To offer good quality and stability to the heavy span, they are provided with seismic restrainers, said Kishore, adding that the bridge is designed to withstand tremors up to 7 and beyond. In May 2017, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Dola Sadia Bridge, also referred to as the Bhuban Hazarika Setu. The bridge connecting Assam and Arunachal Pradesh spans Lohit River, a major tributary of Brahmaputra, from the village of Dola to Sadia. At 9.15 kilometers, it is the longest road bridge in India. So what do you think of India opening the largest bridge and the longest bridge in India near Chinese border? Will it really help move faster equipments and vehicles of Indian troops and trajectories into Chinese border? The BRICS summit in South Africa later this month is likely to see a reviving up of India's rivalry with China for the influence in resource-rich Africa. Both Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India and the Chinese leader Xi Jinping will visit East Africa ahead of the event. The government is yet to announce this, but officials say that Prime Minister Modi of India is going to visit Rwanda and the neighbor Uganda on his way to South Africa for the BRICS summit from July 25th. While Uganda has seen visits by Indian PMs, this is a first of Rwanda. Modi will land in Rwanda, capital Kigali, a day or two after the presidency. This will also be the first time that a Chinese president will visit Rwanda. A top source said that Modi's visit to Rwanda and Uganda was a sign that Africa remained the focus of India's outreach to the developing world, and had nothing to do with any cutthroat competition with China, as often reported in the media. It's also significant that both Rwanda and Uganda are members of the Commonwealth, where India is an important player, said some officials. Adding to that the outreach enhances India's South-South leadership credential even as it engages with the bigger powers. Modi will hold talks with President Paul Kagame in Rwanda and President Yoweri Museveni in Uganda. Several agreements are expected to be signed with both countries. It is significant that both leaders have chosen to visit Rwanda, where China has emerged as an important partner in the reconstruction work. China's annual trade volume with Africa and its FDI in the continent are more than double that of India. However, India in the past has had an edge over China in the East Africa, mainly because of its cultural and historical links with the region. The geographical proximity has also meant that countries in the east along the Indian Ocean coast account for more than half of India's exports to Africa. Both India and China are aware of the strategic significance of East Africa as an emerging market. India, though, is wary of the inflow of easy Chinese loans in the region, which has embraced the Beijing's Belt and Road initiative. In Uganda, the Reuters reported that recently China alone had loaned it nearly $3 billion and was in talks for $2.3 billion more as a part of the BRI. The China operates a naval base in Djibouti on the Horn of Africa, reflecting its growing clout in the region. Its uninhabited smaller alarms the sales to the countries in Africa has made it an attractive partner for both the countries. So what do you think of Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India and the President of China, Xi Jinping, going against East Africa in a competition or a race against building the trust between India and China in the East Africa for building blocks of military and infrastructures? Suresh Prabhu, the Commerce and Industry Minister of India, led the Indian delegation at St. Petersburg International Economic Forum on May 25th and 24th to initiate an economic summit as follow-up of the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India to Sochi for an informal summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The two countries also explored the possibility of joint ventures which should participate in tender in third countries. The minister during his engagement invited the various ministers, governors and CEOs to bring a delegation of top 100 CEOs to visit India for a summit and the meeting, with government officials and Indian CEOs where sector-specific industry would meet each other to discuss, build contacts to create sustained engagements. As India and Russia are getting so much closer and getting into economic trade and bilateral ties, US is getting eager and Trump is a little bit afraid or shocked to see India and Russia getting closer than US in relationship on defense and economy. The minister met 5 Russian ministers and several top business leaders representing railways, communication and media, fertilizers and startups. During the various meetings, the both sides appreciated and noted the fact that India-Russia trade has increased considerably, but was also still less the potential. The thrust of the conversation was creating and executing a plan for increased India-Russian trade economic cooperation. Towards this end, logistics, the infrastructures, the knowledge and based economics, diamonds and golds were highlighted as the important focus areas. In the infrastructure sector, the status of joint study with Russian railways on the high-speed railway line between Nagpur and Secunderabad was discussed. The Indian minister also highlighted the need to set up joint ventures which should participate in tender in third countries. The knowledge-based sectors like paramedicals, innovative industries, digital economies were discussed as the target areas of joint cooperations, with Russian Deputy Prime Minister and Indian ministers highlighting the need for the cooperation and creating a win-win plan in the areas of gold, diamond, timber, and other natural resources. The visit also discussed the creation of mechanisms to find the complementaries and remove barriers between the economies of the two countries. The Commerce and the Industry Minister of India and the Minister of Economic Development discussed the articulations of the Joint Action Plan on increased Russian economic cooperation and to submit the findings of report before the annual summit between the Prime Minister of India and the Russian President later this year. The establishment of a strategic economic dialogue between the Niti Aayog on the Indian side and the Ministry of Economic Development on the Russian side, where experts from both sides would meet and discuss the economic issues, which would have its first meeting later this year, was discussed. Expediting the EIUE, the India-FTA negotiations was also underlined. The Indian Commerce and the Industry Minister and the Russian Minister of Transport agreed that the operations, the International North-South Transport Corridor, would propel trade between the two countries to new height by providing a faster, more viable trade route. Therefore, should be a priority for the both. So what do you think of India and Russia's close economic ties and mega economic summit, which will trigger US ties with India to anvil relations or reliable relations? Post your comments below, and if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and follow us on social networks and subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching. This is WC Daily. Think big, think different. Bye.